I assumed one of the actors would have died, and that none of this would have ever happened.
And that it would be Craig.
Yeah.
We still have 2 days left with him.
And action, Tim.
My name is Stephen Ritzy, and I'm the stunt coordinator of The End of the World. I've been doing it for about 25 years now, and this is like the funnest that I've had on any set.
So this is how the other half lives.
Come on.
I'm Brandon Trost. I'm the cinematographer for The End of the World.
Brandon, our cinematographer, was heavily suggested to us by the studio. They said, we know you're gonna think we're crazy, but you're gonna meet this guy, and we bet you anything you hire him on the spot. And that's exactly what happened. He was the first guy we met with.
Yep, we canceled all of our other
absolute no-brainer.
The fact that they wanted this movie to not look like a conventional comedy was what drew me to it ultimately. I mean, they said, look, we want this movie to be dark. We don't want it to be flatly lit. We want a very specific stylized look for this. And I pretty much said, look, I'm just stoked you guys have the balls to do this because I would do it. I'm looking forward to doing it.
This is real! I think it was fortunate that we shot the scene where the dude's head gets ripped off, like early in the movie. This is fucking real! Damn it!
Something early on, as Seth and Evan said that, when this guy's head gets severed and rolls around and they kick the head around the house, what if we had the POV of the head? And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know, I think that sounds kind of like a stupid shot, but I guess we'll do it anyway. And so we tried to figure this out, and we basically made a styrofoam ball and just stuck the camera inside of it with a really wide lens and said, all right, here, we're gonna hit record here, actors, just kick it around and I don't know, we'll see if it works and see if anything comes out of it. And it ended up being great. I mean, it was awesome. Half the scene when they're kicking it around plays off of that angle because it was so fun. It was awesome. It was a great idea.
This man was alive a few seconds ago. We can't play soccer with his head. Pick it up, Jonah. Oh. What the fuck is going on?
That's one of like the grosser things that we had, and it just seemed to play so well that it really did kind of give us permission to keep going and pushing it more and more and more, and it just looked so good. I mean, it was funny, as we were planning like the look of the movie, like none of the movies we were referencing were comedies at all. Literally, they were all, horror movies or action movies or war movies.
I just have to forget this is a comedy. That's really all I've been doing. I've just been ignoring that it's funny at all and just going straight for it like it's a tense action thriller. And just keeping that as in my mindset as my rule book for shooting this is really how I approached it completely.
We learned the great, vast value of really planning the things. Even if you throw it out, even if you don't follow one of the storyboards ultimately, the fact that you all have them, you just know if you're ever lost, you have a guide, that's really what it's most helpful for, I think.
When they see something that they like we rehearse it, we pre-rehearse it, and we shoot a previs of it. And then we show the directors, so that way they know going in, okay, we've already got this worked out. We can walk right in, hook the people up, and fly them. And if they see something and they like it, it's a winner. They don't go, let's do another one for safety, or let's do another one just in case. They look at it and they go, can't imagine improving on that. Let's move on.
They were really prepared. They had a book with all of these different reference materials and paintings and film clips, and they had done a lot of homework putting this movie together.
And making the Green Hornet, we've done so much action at this point that stuff's really pretty textbook for us.
Yeah, we just planned it. We just kind of storyboarded it. I mean, it's funny, we've had so many of these conversations over the last years of what things look like. As we write it, we talk about what we want it to look like. That I think people ask either of us a question, and 99% of the time I'll answer without even having to ask him because I know the answer because it's based on a conversation we've probably had 100 times already.
What I find so interesting about Seth and Evan, I mean, they might as well be brothers, when it comes down to it. I mean, these guys have been friends forever, and it shows. I mean, it seems like, they're both, they're both on the same page for the most part, and when they're not, they kind of bicker like they are brothers, and it's kind of funny to watch them hash it out. And in the end, they end up with what I think is ultimately the best decision, and it's always fun to sort of be there for that process.
And then it's like a rock kind of gets kicked down from up there, and hits him, and he just falls down.
I don't think you need to see the rock.
Yeah, you don't need to see. We don't need to establish where it comes from. It's just like we're shooting down, just like in the preview. We're about to brain Martin with the rock. I think it's going to be very cool. Let's see what happens.
So let's get him in position.
Action.
Help me! Oh my God!
And 3, 2, 1, rock.
Oh my God!
That was fucking great. I think it's been a really like fluid process with everybody, and I think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny. It's like the way we learned. It's like the way we grew up working, essentially. You know, so to us, it's not weird.
We decided really early on that we wanted this apocalypse to have a new tone. You know, once it hits, it's like the world has changed, and you know that's sort of how we've changed both the night and the day look. You know, the daytime now has a very amber, sort of reddish golden hue to it. It's almost like we were looking at reference stills from dust storms in Sydney, Australia, that had like this really thick red, orange, sort of golden, ashy look to it. And you know, we did some tests and found a color that we liked and sort of stuck to that for our daytime. And at nighttime, we decided, well, the whole world's on fire, so let's just make it feel like there are fires all around the house, kind of burning the world down.
Fuck this shit.
Whoa! It's fucking hot in here!
Fire is always a very dangerous thing and a very challenging thing, depending on how far you're going to take it.
And action.
Jonah's on fire!
We have a chase through an entire house, from the upper level to the lower level. He's running into walls, lighting things on fire the whole time, so it's not just him on fire, he's lighting the room around him on fire. And then at one point, he jumps through the railing from upstairs and drops, about 15 feet down into the lower level, into the living room right next to the guys. You actually see that it's all of our actors running around with this huge fireball chasing them. And that's what makes it, fun and realistic. Doing that in steps, and we carefully planned it out. We're going to light him here and put him out here, and that's that segment. We're going to light him here and put him out here. Everything done in stages and in pieces, and not pushing past that. We knew exactly what to expect. But yeah, lighting somebody on fire 9 times and 9 full burns is not a small deal.
And that guy was really on fire. I've never seen I've seen guys kind of on fire. That guy was ablaze.
Yeah, it was like a little one-man inferno. That was one thing that was
one-man inferno.
way bigger than we expected.
Yeah.
What's happening? All right, everybody listen up. Who took my fucking cell phone, man?
Michael Cera, we had that gag with him that he gets impaled by the light pole and lifted up. And that was an actual, light pole gag that we took and modified an actual light pole and put it on a rig, and then attached a harness to it and then put him in that rig with another piece strapped to him, with special effects in it and blood and sparks and everything. And he did that whole thing, and we lifted him, he was probably 30 feet off the ground at one point on the end of a pole, just up there dangling, and just did a great job.
Oh shit, that's embarrassing.
Well, one of the biggest achievements that I think that Spellman has achieved is just making this film look like it's in LA, and we're in New Orleans right now. And this is, this whole movie is shot in New Orleans, and it takes place in Los Angeles. I mean, right down to the Melrose Street that we laid out on a block stretch of road here in New Orleans, and it's all been super legit.
That's the great thing about this movie. They've been involved in every stunt we've done. Even, once they exit the corner store and they near miss a car that literally goes straight and crashes into the front of the store, that's them running down the street and diving out of the way of a car that we're blind driving, that we go right by them and right into the front of the corner store that they just came out of. So, and then we T-boned another vehicle directly in front of them. As they ran to the store, I would give them a mark and said, you may not go past this mark, because, 10 feet in front of you, we're going to T-bone a car.
Oh! We are going back to Franco's! God damn it.
I always want to use the actors as much as possible. And so when you can build them into big, exciting gags like that, where people go, oh my gosh, that was Seth and Jay, and that car was right in front of him and almost hit them, that's exciting.
I feel like when Danny McBride was the Cannibal King, he put it the best way when he said, how fucking crazy is this? Because that's exactly what this is. It's nuts. This movie is bonkers. That's it. I will say bonkers. I don't really know how else to explain it.
Over the years, we've kind of learned that the more seriously you take the action itself, the funnier the idiots surrounding the action, their reaction can be, and that's where the laugh comes. The laugh would never come from the action. The laugh comes from how we're daintily reacting to the action. And so the cooler and scarier it is, the funnier it is ultimately, because it all becomes like heightened, and it's all of a sudden like we're stuck in like a real movie, you know, which is kind of where the whole joke basically.
It's happening!
I'm holding an upside down head so the blood doesn't spill out of it before filming.
My balls are on your shoulder.
Jay's fucking balls are on my, and that's the grosser thing of the two things that just happened.